welcome back. Yes, it's that time of year again. The cold weather has officially arrived, and before we know it, we'll be facing things like frost, hail, and dare we say it, snow. So how can we make sure our car is road ready, I should say, over the next few months? Well, Mick Green from Mick's Garage joins me this morning. Good morning, Mick. Good
morning,
to see
Simon.
you. You've brought an array of things which will help us get the car winter ready, because there's, and you know, people are going to look at these and go, oh yeah, some of them are obvious, some of them aren't.
Correct.
So you want to start with, first of all, if we get into trouble.
Correct.
So you're going to jump start.
Yeah, so the jump starter is a great product. We all know with lockdown and winter coming, you can go out to your car in the morning and your battery might be dead.
Yeah.
And actually we've experienced a lot more of that over the past couple of weeks with cars in lockdown. They come out, try to go to work, and the car simply won't start.
Yeah.
So it's a great, versatile, simple, easy to carry product that just works really, really well.
Okay, so you just have that in the boot of the car.
You have that in the boot of the car.
Are they expensive, or is it kind of thing that you can spend whatever you want on them?
They're from about €100, but you've got to remember, if you get stuck on the side of the road, a call-out charge can cost you that and more. So it's covered by one call-out charge.
Okay, that sorts our battery. Then we're on to kind of, there's a thing here called a battery guard. Now, I don't know what that means. What's a battery guard?
So a battery guard, again, it's something where you want to monitor your battery. Let's say your battery isn't in great condition and you want to monitor your battery. Okay. It's a little device that connects across your terminals. You can download an app on your phone and monitor your battery, so you understand whether your battery is good, whether it's not. And you know, sometimes you go to a garage and you're told your battery is X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
This you can tell by yourself.
So you're checking the battery's health.
You're checking the battery's health, correct.
And then when it gets to a certain point, then
Exactly right. Sometimes sometimes you simply need a new battery. If your battery has deteriorated to a point where it no longer functions and you're constantly jump starting your car, you will need a new battery. But in this sort of situation, your battery might just need a top up. It might just need a simple charge, and that's what this device does. It alerts you to that.
And just in terms of the battery, then, if we do need to replace the battery, again, is it a case of you can pay any price them? How do we know which is the right one?
Batteries differ depending on the brand and depending on the type of car and depending on the voltage and the amperes of the battery.
Okay.
That battery in particular, we'd sell batteries from about €50 on. That particular battery, UASA, actually, believe it or not, they actually power the International Space Station, right? So it's something, right? So it's obviously not that exact battery because that's here, but batteries are an absolutely crucial component to keep your car on the road.
And hence having the jump start and the checking the battery health.
Correct.
Antifreeze, hugely important.
Antifreeze is massively important. I mean, you know, if the liquid in your car, if that freezes, it can burst pipes, it can do an extraordinary amount of damage. So it's very, very important to have antifreeze in your car, especially when we're coming into winter. We're lucky sort of the last winter or so, it was quite mild, but if you get a winter where really, you know, it drops below zero for a couple of nights in a row, you could be in trouble.
And you just follow the instructions on the bottle as to how much to put in, etc.
That's exactly right.
Okay, this is a very cool little thing. This is a dehumidifier, something I would never think of putting in the car.
Correct, yeah, this is a really great seller for us. It works really, really well, and it's actually a product. What you do is you put it in the microwave. You put the product in the microwave. Once it cools down, you put it in your car. You just leave it sitting on the dash, and what it does is it takes the moisture out of the air, and it balances the moisture on the outside of the car with the inside of the car, and that prevents condensation, everything from building up on your window.
Price point on that?
You're looking at €10.
Tenner, okay. Now we're looking at sort of cleaning, keeping the windows clean, etc. What have we got here?
Yeah, so this is a rain repellent
rain
liquid,
repellent.
Right?
We could cover ourselves in that, couldn't we?
Well, we could cover ourselves in that, you know, but it could be a bit cold in those frosty mornings. It's a really good product. Again, what it does, it helps your wiper blades. It helps to prevent your wiper blades from having to work too hard. So you get extra length out of your wiper blades. But it's just a really, really good product for helping the visibility through the windscreen.
Because as you say, moisture in the car is the enemy, isn't it?
Correct, exactly.
Then you have a heater.
Yeah, so when you come out to your car in the morning, so lots of cars have nowadays have an automatic sort of climate control and sensor, so it can turn on at different times in the morning, but lots of cars don't. That's where this heater product comes in. It works really well. It gives you instant heat, so you can put it onto your windscreen and defrost your windscreen very, very quickly. It's a 12-volt device.
And the next thing this is very handy. You're calling this next set of items a kind of a winter kit.
That's right.
So you've got your scraper for taking ice off the window, etc. So there's a few bits and bobs in there.
So what you have is a windscreen wash, right, which is an antifreeze windscreen wash. Very, very important for, you get lots of dirt on your windscreen if you're traveling behind trucks or anything else.
Yes, exactly.
It's all about visibility. Then you have a de-icer, which is really important. I mean, spray it on your windscreen in the morning, and it really does help to de-ice the car. Then you have an ice scraper itself. You have a torch, and you have some cloths as well.
Very clever. And the de-icers, you put that on the morning of when you're going out, or
No, you put it on in the morning. What it does, it's like the de-icer. When you're de-icing the wing of a plane, if you've ever seen them doing that,
yes,
it instantly de-ices the car.
Very good. And as you say, you mentioned them already, but blades, so wipers next.
Yeah, so wipers really...
It's important to keep an eye on how the condition of them in the car.
Correct. Well, your wipers take an absolute hammering in wintertime. They really take an absolute hammering in wintertime. Some people, you'll find, they'll turn on the wipers when the car is iced up, and the problem is with that, you're going to damage the wipers very, very quickly. You're going to damage that rubber in the wipers. Okay. It's the wiper is frozen, so it's very, very important that you have wipers that are very, very clear, work really well, and keep the visibility very strong.
And is there something that, if you were, say, dropping the car in for a winter service, is that advisable that we should do that before we get into bad weather?
Well,
absolutely.
At this time,
if get our wipers checked, tyres
certainly
checked.
if you have any concerns about your car, you should absolutely get in there. It's absolutely critical. I know we don't have it here, but tyres are the single most critical thing on your car for winter. Yeah. So you need to get those checked and make sure you have the correct tread. After that, your wipers, it's very, very, you can tell when your wipers aren't working well because they're going to leave streaks on the windscreen. They're just not going to work as well as they should, right? Okay. So it's very easy to tell some of those things. But if anything, absolutely, you should get your car checked for winter because safety is critical.
A snow sock.
Yes.
What in the name of all is good and holy is that?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, a couple of years ago we had a huge amount of snow, right? And a lot of cars simply will not travel in snow, and especially if you have a rear-wheel drive car, they really just do not travel in snow. What this is a fabric material that goes around your wheel, and it allows you to get grip in the snow, and it's a really incredibly innovative product. I mean, you saw them on the road all the time when we did have the snow, and it just works extraordinarily well.
And are they specifically designed for rear-wheel drive cars?
No, they're not. They're designed for any car.
All right, okay.
Front-wheel drive cars have a better chance, but at the same time, they still need a product like this to get them up hills, or especially if you live in rural areas, right? You simply can't get up hills with these.
I do recall a terrifying moment where sitting in traffic during bad snow on a slight incline and then going to take away, and the car just not going anywhere. It's terrifying because you panic, you don't know what to do.
Absolutely.
That's a simple solution.
That's exactly right.
And you fit them yourself, easy peasy.
You fit them yourself, you fit them, and they work extremely well. You put them on two wheels, either two front wheels or the two back wheels, right? And they work, obviously they have to go on the drive wheels of the car, but they work extremely well.
Okay, and last but by no means least, some version of a hammer.
Yeah, so this is a hammer. I mean, we've heard of situations recently where, people were caught in cars, unfortunately, and there was fatalities around where people went into water in cars, and it's an unfortunate situation. But you really must, number one, avoid those sort of situations where you get into trouble in the first place. But this is an emergency hammer that you can smash windows with, and also it has a blade on it to cut a seatbelt if you really needed to do that. But the number one thing is avoiding those situations in the first place.
This is great advice, as always, Mick. And I get that on the boot of my car now.
Fantastic. Off you go.
Thanks a million, Mick. Right, lots more still to come on Ireland AM. See you after this quick break. Great stuff.